topic of Specsavers. His name is Chris Ferguson. He works with Specsavers, and it's funny because I like to Google all the speakers to see if I can get some information on them before they come up. You could call it stalking. I call it research. There's a professional American poker player called Chris Ferguson. Did you know that? Yeah. And there's also an astronaut called Chris Ferguson. But we have the best one because we have the Specsavers one. He has been working in recruitment, the recruitment industry for over 20 years, and he's here today with Specsavers. There's a huge number of Specsavers businesses across Ireland and the UK. Hopefully you're going to pick up some great bits and pieces and maybe even think about a career with Specsavers. So here to talk about the opportunities that are available to you, I'd love if you give him a lovely warm round of applause. It's Chris Ferguson. And I just threw my glasses on the ground.
Thank you. Morning, everybody. I was a bit worried when I saw the rugby that I might be speaking to myself today, so thanks for coming along. Just as an introduction, so my name's Chris Ferguson. I'm the recruitment manager for Specsavers. So I look after all the recruitment for all the stores across Ireland and across the UK. And really today's a chance to just talk about Specsavers and talking through the opportunities. One of the main conversations I have with a lot of people when they join Specsavers, a lot of them probably wouldn't have thought of coming to us. It's not a first choice. And sometimes the reason for that is people think that you have to have previous experience or an optical background or optical experience. And I'm here today just to tell you how that's not necessarily always the case. And we've got stories within our stores across Ireland of partners that own and operate Specsavers stores, optometrists, dispensing opticians, lab managers that started working 3 hours on a Saturday afternoon and then progressed their career, and they're now owning and running some of the biggest stores in Ireland. So hopefully you've heard of Specsavers, but I will give you just a very brief history lesson on who we are and where we're from. So Specsavers first opened in the UK in 1984 and opened our first store in Ireland in 1990. Since then, we've grown around the world. So we opened our first store in the Netherlands in 1997. We launched the should-have strapline, the should-have gone to Specsavers. Sometimes if somebody bangs, crashes, falls over, or you hear a bad refereeing decision in sport, the should-have gone to Specsavers line sometimes comes out. We expanded into audiology, which is provision of hearing tests and hearing aids in 2004. Opened in Norway, Spain, Finland, Australia and New Zealand, which is one of our fastest growing areas now. In 2013 we launched our home visits, which is a really important part of our business. Home visits enables us to provide full life care for patients. So there is a part in a lot of people's lives where they can't get out of the house anymore, or other restrictions prevent them from being able to come into a Specsavers store. So our home visit service allows an optometrist to come out, carry out tests and provide glasses, which for a lot of people is critical, because if you're bedbound, housebound, and your TV, your book, your photo album, if that's your window to the world, the difference being able to see with your glasses or not is huge. So it's a really important part of what we do. And in 2016, we expanded into EOS, which is our enhanced optical services, which is Specsavers with more technology and moving towards being purely your optician, where you go get your eyes tested, to now moving towards becoming a doctor of the eyes. So lots of clinical advancement to be able to spot other diseases, such as glaucoma. So Specsavers is a global company. So just to show you on there where we are. So we've got 57 stores in Ireland and 16 audiology stores. Largest at the moment is in the UK with 800, nearly 400 across Australia and New Zealand, and across Northern Europe. One of the things Specsavers is really proud of is we've never actually closed a store. So within retail, I think every year there's always on the news or on the radio a big name retailer that is going into liquidation, gone bankrupt in the last 10 years. There's a whole host of household names that don't exist anymore. Specsavers is absolutely bucking the trend because we've never closed a store, but we're continuing to open in more stores as well year on year. So you know, from a growth point of view, we're really bucking the trend within retail. As a company, we are a big company. To just give you a couple of figures, so we have 3,000 partners. So Specsavers is run on what's called a joint venture partnership, which means the partners that run the store actually own and operate the store. So the stores in Ireland are Irish owned and operated. We've got 37,000 employees, over 2,000 optical and audiology stores, 400,000 hearing aids provided. We sell over 21.6 million frames a year, which is huge. 530 million contact lenses, and get over 1 million views on our website regularly. One of the things that we do, which is I guess slightly different to a normal retail role, is we're dealing with people's eyesight and people's hearing. So a role with Specsavers is really different because yes, it has all the buzz and the excitement and the no 2 days are the same that you would get in a really fast-paced retail role. But also we're dealing with people and dealing with their health. And in some cases, some of the services that people come in for a routine eye test end up being very different, and we're able to help them in ways that the patients never thought possible. So I've just got a quick video for you. We've got tons of these, but I'll show you this one with regards to Kean and his visit to Specsavers.
I'm Cheryl. I'm grandma to Kean. He lives with me and Grandad and his sisters. I'm a happy little lad. We had a little family outing to Specsavers. We were all checked and Kean was the last one.
They put a light touch with this kind of machine on my eyes.
When my colleague actually did the check, the optic nerve looked like it was swollen, and typically that's caused by increased fluid pressure around the brain.
And she just said that, you know, he really needed referring, classing it as urgent. So we took Kean up to the hospital and Kean was then booked in for a MRI brain scan. We were called into a room with two doctors and they said they'd found 2 tumours in Kean's brain. We just fell apart. All the time he's still playing with the toys outside. That was the Tuesday, and he actually had brain surgery on the Wednesday.
That's in hospital for a bit, and I had to have an operation.
The eyesight was normal and we picked it up from a subtle change in the optic nerve. Typically when you do get to this stage, the patient's got more symptoms, so we picked it up at such an early stage, which is just really, really rare.
He wasn't poorly, it was just a random eye test at Specsavers. If he hadn't have had it, he might not be here now. There's little things he can't do that he used to, but hopefully in a couple of months he'll be back to how he was before.
You have to go and get your eyes checked in case you might be poorly.
As a family, we're just so grateful he picked up on it. They followed it through. They got him that appointment and, you know, Kean's here today, smiling and being his normal self.
And we've got lots of stories like that, and you can go in stores across Ireland and you'll see thank you cards from people that have come in and had a routine eye test, and they saw with Kean they're having tumours identified. So, you know, the rewards that we get from what we do, helping people, is really significant. And if you've not had your eyes tested recently, book an appointment. So Specsavers careers. So we offer a number of roles within Specsavers. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the main roles that you'll find in a Specsavers store and what the requirements are to be able to do those roles. So the roles where you have no previous experience or relevant qualification are optical assistants, hair care assistants, laboratory technicians, and retail management roles. Ones that you could then progress and either enter with qualifications or gain qualifications while working for Specsavers are hearing aid dispensers, dispensing opticians and contact lens opticians, and optometrists. So first of all, our optical assistants on a day-to-day basis, if you're going to walk into a Specsavers store, they'd be the first people you'd meet, they'd be the people that would meet and greet you, walk you through your appointment. They would also carry out the pre-test, which is the first part of the test, before you spend time with the optometrist. Once you've had your test, and then it's a chance to pick your glasses, they'll help you go through and show you some of the best ones and help you through that process. Progression as an optical assistant, there's 2 routes. So you can progress on a clinical point of view. That can be qualifying to become a dispensing optician, a contact lens optician, and also an optometrist, or retail, so progressing through the retail side of it as a retail supervisor and then a retail manager. both of those can end up with you on and operating your own Specsavers stores. Specsavers stores generally have two joint venture partners. One is an optometrist and one is a retail specialist. And within Specsavers, we've got tons of examples of partners today that started within the group as an optical assistant, fell in love with optics or audiology, and are now owning and running their own businesses. Hair care assistants, quite similar to the optical assistant. They provide the hair care screening tests and then provide assistance once you've been provided with your hearing aids, how to fit them, and to just go with any aftercare services. The progression there could be to continue with his studies and become an audiologist, or to carry on in the retail role similar to the optical assistant into retail management, and ultimately can also end up with you owning your own store. Laboratory technicians, it really surprised me when I first joined Specsavers, because I didn't realise in a lot of the stores that you see in shopping malls, right at the back, we have miniature labs where all the frames are made, where the glasses are cut, they're tinted, they're put together. The volume in there, as you can imagine, normally when people either have an issue with the glasses, full or new glasses, they want a quick turnaround. So within a lot of our stores, the labs are actually on site. So if you're somebody that has an incredible eye for detail and is very good with your hands, optometrists, you do need to be a qualified optometrist with an optometrist degree to work as an optometrist. We can support this once again. If you're a dispensing optician, contact lens optician, we can support and have supported many people coming through. I was in Galway at the Expo last month, and one of the partners there started working 3 hours on a Saturday afternoon as a retail assistant, absolutely fell in love with the world of optics, was completely engaged with the eyes and actually just seeing the difference it can make to people's lives. Went through college, we provided their training through university, and now they are our lead optometrist that runs the store. And as you saw from the video, some of the checks are more than just providing glasses. We're providing life-saving changes to some people at times. And the progression as an optometrist, you can either continue as an optometrist, work as a managing optometrist, lead optometrist, but a lot of optometrists then want to go on and own their own practice and go on to run a Specsavers store. We're here, just at the end. We've got a Specsavers stand just down on the right-hand side. We're going to be here all day. If anyone's got any more questions, anything specific they want to ask or talk to us about. But just one last thing, one of the other things, as well as glasses and hearing aids, Specsavers are sometimes famous for is their job ads. So I'll leave you with one of my favourite recent ones. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. I'm curious to know how much the cat got paid for having to do all those jumps. Thank you so much.
Right.
And for just one quick question, because I know you have a team of people out there, and I've seen the stand and everything. If there was somebody here thinking, I don't know if I have any skills, but I would like to come to Specsavers, are you open to everyone of every ability to call in?
Yeah, absolutely. And we can do things such as trial days. So if somebody just wants to come in and test and see what it's like, you can have a few hours working in the store. You may be interested in retail. You may be interested in becoming an optometrist. We can get you to spend time with relevant people in the store to do those roles. So yeah, absolutely.
Rather than, I suppose, invest in doing a full degree course and then realising, God, you hate looking in people's eyes. Actually, I do have a friend who injects people in the eyeballs. It's her job. She's a doctor. She's not it makes her sound like a torture person. She's not. So look, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave you because I know you have the team outside answering questions. So ladies and gents, if you have any questions in relation to Specsavers, Chris and his team will be outside. But we'll give them a lovely warm round of applause anyway. And thank you. Thanks for speaking this morning.